Very good morning, class. So today we're looking at interpretation of graphs. Probably in this video we will cover example 1. Probably we can cover both examples if time permits. So we're looking at interpretation of graphs. So at this point we have drawn parabolas, exponential graphs, hyperbolas and straight lines. Okay? At this point as well we have concluded and we have determined the equations of parabolas, exponential graphs, exponent, exponential, hyperbola graphs and linear straight line graphs. So now we're going to look at interpretation of graphs. So we have done this already when we spoke about the domain and range, where f of x is more than or less than 0 or equal to 0. We spoke about the axis of symmetry. We spoke about the nature of roots. We spoke about where the graph is increasing and decreasing. Okay? And we spoke about the average gradient as well. We spoke about when the graphs is shifted or reflected, the transformations of these graphs. Not so. So now, here we actually now given the graph, and now we must read off from the graph. Previously, in our previous lessons, what we looked at was we were given the equation. We were then required to draw the graph, and then the interpretation took place on our sketch. Here the sketch is given, and we have to then read off from the sketch parts of that. Okay. So we're looking at example 1. Example 1 is on page 170. Okay. And this example is for exercise 5.21 on page 174 out of the Keeping Maths Simple textbook. So we are told that in the sketch the graphs of y equals. So I'm definitely going to move that up. So y is equal to f of x, which is equal to negative x squared minus 2x plus 3. And we are told that g of x is equal to minus x plus 1. Okay? The graphs of f cuts the x-axis at points A and B, as you can see there. And the graph of g cuts the x-axis at B. Okay, so I can take that up now. Let's move this here. Need to make this a bit smaller. We're trying to maximize the space that we have here. We don't have much. So oh, the equations is on here. Makes it a bit easier. Right. So the first question says calculate the length of AB. Calculate the length of AB. Let's pull this up a bit. Smaller. Calculate the length of AB. Okay. So if we're looking at AB, what you notice, what is A and B? Is the x-intercepts of the straight line, not of the parabola or f of x. So how do I normally calculate your x-intercept? We let y equal to 0. So f of x is the parabola, so 0 is equal to minus x squared minus 2x plus 3. So here we have to solve for x, not so. So I divide throughout by negative. So 0 is equal to x squared plus 2x minus 3. So it's a trinomial. I can factorize. I can do one of three things. I can use the trinomial factorization. I can use a quadratic formula, or I can use that silver calculator. So x is equal to minus 3 or x is equal to 1. But have I answered the question? No. So if b is 1 and a is minus 3, then therefore the length of AB is, what's 3 plus 1? 4. You guys are showing some promise then. It's going to be 4 units. Can you see that, people? Do I need to apply the distance formula here? No. The x values, the y values are the same. If the y values are the same, you just subtract the 2 x values. Okay? If the x values are the same, you just subtract the 2 y values. Okay? That's 4 units there. Let's look at B. So B says calculate the coordinates of P, a point of intersection of F and G. People, How do you calculate the points of intersection? Set the two graphs equal to each other. So the equation of g of x must be equal to the equation of f of x. So it's going to be negative x plus 1 is equal to negative x squared minus 2x plus 3. So we can solve x, we give it to one side. So we got x squared minus x plus 2x is plus x. 1 minus 3 is minus 2 is equal to 0. People, if you can't do that two steps in one, no problem. You write it out. You add your like terms. That's just press for space here again. It's a trinomial. So I got x and x, 2 and 1, plus and minus. So x is equal to minus 2 or x is equal to 1. People, why are there two values for x here? There are 2 points of intersection, namely B, which is already identified as x is equal to 1, which is confirmed here. Can you see that? So then, therefore, the x value of P, of course, is negative 2. So what do I do with that? I substituted either into the equation of g of x or the equation of f of x. So let's go with g, or sorry, f is the simpler one. So f of minus 2 is equal to negative minus 2 plus 1. Negative times negative 2 is going to be positive 2 plus 1 is 3. Therefore, P is going to be negative 2 and... Okay, you guys understand? Any confusion there? Okay, also, I'm writing it here so that at one glance we can see what is already calculated in the question or on the diagram thus far. Okay. We already erase that so that they keep the diagram in focus. Okay. Let's go with C. C, the question C asks, calculate the coordinates of the turning point C. People, how do you calculate the coordinates of the turning point? Using the axis of symmetries formula, which is minus b over 2a. So it's coming from the parabola. So your a is minus 1, your b is minus 2, and your c is 3. Not so. So it's minus b, so it's minus 2 over 2a, which is negative 1. So that's going to give you 2 over minus 2, which is negative 1. Okay? I could have calculated that as well by adding those two values together and dividing them by 2. So it happens midway between the two x-intercepts. Okay. So what do I do with that? I substitute that into the equation of f of x. Not so. So f of x is going to be f of negative 1 is equal to negative minus 1 squared minus 2 into negative 1 plus 3. That's again going to give us negative 1 plus 2 plus 3 is going to give you an answer of 4. Therefore, C is negative 1 and... Okay. Any confusion there, people? No? Alright, let's look at the next question. It says, calculate the length of CD. Let's calculate the length of CD. So what do you notice here? CD is lying between two graphs. If OE is perpendicular, OE, this line here is perpendicular to that line. Or they could have told you the same thing, but they could have told you that CD is parallel to the y-axis. It means the same thing. Whenever they ask you this type of distance question, it will always be perpendicular to the x and parallel to the y. But they mention one of the two. Okay? Whenever we're calculating a distance between two graphs, okay, what do we do? Looking from on top, right? Did you put your eyelashes there? Looking from on top, we see which graph is on top, and which graph is on top here? It's a straight line. Can you see that? No, it's not. Looking from on top, is C coming first or D? C. So you see the straight line or the parabola? The parabola, yes. So what is the equation of the parabola is f of x minus g of x. Can you see that, people? The straight line minus, sorry, it's the parabola minus the straight line. If that distance was here for argument's sake, then what would have been on top now? Straight line. It would have been the straight line minus the parabola, which is gx minus f of x. You guys understand? So, that is simply going to give us f of x is minus x squared minus 2x plus 3 minus open brackets g of x, which is minus x plus 1. So that gives us negative x squared minus 2x plus 3 plus x minus 1. So it's minus x squared minus x plus 2. This is what we call the algebraic expression for this line CD, or the distance between the parabola and the straight line, provided the parabola is on top of the straight line. You guys understand? What is this? The algebraic expression for that line CD. Okay. But did they ask us for the algebraic expression, or they asked us for the length? The length, the value. No? Calculate the value. So, what is your x value on this line? What's the x value on this line? X is equal to? So, you're going to substitute x is equal to minus 1. So, we will actually get the value of CD by doing that substitution. So, let's do the substitution. So, CD is equal to negative into negative 1 squared minus 1 plus 2. So that's going to give you negative 1 plus 1 plus 2. Give you an answer of 2 units. So that distance is simply 2 units. Okay. Any confusion? No, I'm going to pause the video and cut the next question quickly. Okay, so the bell will be ringing in the next 8 minutes. So it's going to be better for me rather to do this example 2 on Monday. Okay, yeah, there's quite a bit of information, and I'm not going to do justice. I'm going to rush this questions in that 8 minutes. Okay, so for homework, I would like you guys to do 5.21. In exercise 5.21, I would like you guys to do number 1. There are 8 sums. I would like you guys to do number 1 and the odd numbers. Okay. 5.21 on page 174, you do the odd numbers. Now the last part in question 8. Okay, you guys are doing odd numbers. So the last part is in question 8, that is heavily dependent on example 2, and number 4 is also heavily dependent. So you guys are not doing that anyway. Okay? So you guys are going to do the odd numbers, and then Monday, inshallah, we will do example 2. Okay, is that okay? That you guys can start with it now, and if you have any problems, you can bring it to me. Okay?